So I am Ted. I have a real name, not just the real Ted G. And I wanted to go over a marketing strategy, house selling strategy that I came across about 18 years ago. It proved very effective. It's actually from a book that's titled How to Sell Your House in 5 Days. And it worked very well in a different market where we were selling 1 out of every 4 homes, not 5 out of every 4 homes that are being sold in today's market here on Long Island. So the way the strategy works, it actually discusses in the book that you actually take your home and you underprice it by about 5 or 10% below market value. So I read the book and then I thought, wait a minute. I have a few resources and tools at my disposal that are not just a newspaper ad that the book talked about and very simple marketing technique. We have our multiple listing system, and we have resources beyond belief, exposure on all these internet sites, on everything from Zillow to Realtor.com to MLS.com, LI.com, One Key, and ColdwellBanker.com, of course, the number 2 most visited website on all brands. And so I titled my little strategy Slingshot. And I found this at a yard sale. So the way my Slingshot works is I take the price of a house and I purposely discuss with the seller, and we discuss underpricing the house on purpose by about 10 or even 20%. And in fact, the higher the percentage of underpricing, the further the Slingshot throws the price forward. So in one example, way back when house prices were more like $249, not $549, in my marketplace, we priced a house instead of $249, we priced it at $199. It incited a real rally to the house. My buyer assistant showed the home about 18 times. My other assistant, who was licensed, showed the house about 30 times. I think the young lady at the time had just gotten licensed. She wrote up about 25 offers on this home. And we had almost 35 to 40 offers, if I remember correctly, and we went way over the asking price. So the way the Slingshot works is it takes all the attention away from any other house on the market, and it focuses on our property. And by putting this spotlight right on this house, it drives every part of the market to it. So when I do talk to my sellers about doing this, this is not for the faint of heart. We attract the buyers that are not even looking for homes to see this home. And yes, we narrow it down. We find 3, maybe 4, maybe even 2 buyers that are so serious and so hot on this house. We find the needle in the haystack. We find the perfect buyer for our home. And you know who the perfect buyer is? The buyer that sees just as much value in the home as the home seller and their agent. And that is why I dubbed it Slingshot, because the further back you pull the Slingshot, the further forward the target price goes. And the results have always been amazing. In today's market, it must be a little crazy to do it, but no one's ever not called me crazy. So maybe we will. But in the past, in the slower market, in the market where 1 out of every 4 homes were selling, it actually drew so much attention to some of these homes. One home I just spoke about, instead of $199, the house actually sold for $255. Instead of the asking price at $249, giving us maybe a $240 or even a $249 offer, we actually used the asking price of $199 to get us $255,000. At the time, it was a good amount of money for a home. On another project, remember, not for the faint of heart, and it brings the market to our home. So keeping that in mind, on another property, a builder had gone in over his head, and the property was on Miller. I think the builder's name was Bob, but yes. So Bob the builder had this property that he couldn't sell. Miller Avenue. I could even give you the town, but I won't give you too many details. It was not selling at $449. Okay, so it was not selling. So what do? We Slingshot. We priced the house all the way down to $399. Guess what? The market was brought to the house. 38 people viewed the home. One person made an offer. The house sold for $389,000. That was the value of the home. Remember what I said, and this is how I do describe it and set my clients' expectations correctly. That was the market for this home. $389,000 was the price. Bob the builder did not make a very large profit, but the market was brought to the home. That's one example of not the flashy, oh, we sold way over record breaking. It was record breaking because it was kind of a crappy house and it got really good money. That might not be right to say. But anyway, that's the Slingshot. It's not for the faint of heart, but it can be a really dramatic strategy that can garner you a lot of great results. I think that's enough live for today. Oh, now I have to wrap it up. So please join me on the next live or the next podcast where, what is my next topic? I forgot it already. My next topic is going to be how to do a podcast without weird pauses. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube, The Real Ted G Podcast.